Marie had heard about the red button from her grandfather. It was an urban legend passed down from generation to generation in her family. The story went that if you found the red button in the woods and pressed it, something terrible would happen, but no one knew what. Her grandfather had sworn to her that it was true, and that he had seen it with his own eyes. Marie was always curious about the button. She often went to the woods with her friends, but they never found it. She thought about it every day, wondering what it could be. One day, she decided to go to the woods alone, determined to find the button once and for all. After searching for hours, she finally stumbled upon it. It was a red button, like the one her grandfather had described. It was just sitting there in the middle of a clearing, surrounded by trees. Marie felt her heart racing, wondering what would happen if she pressed it. She hesitated for a moment, then finally gave in to her curiosity and pressed the button. Nothing happened at first. Marie waited for a few minutes, but there was no sign of anything unusual. She was about to leave, feeling disappointed, when she heard a strange noise. It sounded like someone whispering in her ear, but she couldn't make out what it was saying. Marie turned around, but there was no one there. She felt a shiver run down her spine as the whispers grew louder. Suddenly, she saw a figure in the distance. It was a woman, but her face was obscured by the shadows. Marie tried to move, but her feet were glued to the spot. The whispers turned into screams as the woman approached. Marie could see that she was covered in blood, and her eyes were filled with hatred. The woman was now right in front of her, and Marie could feel her breath on her face. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The woman disappeared as suddenly as she had appeared. Marie was left alone, shaking with fear. She had no idea what had just happened, or why. She ran out of the woods and went home, trying to make sense of what had just happened. The next day, Marie went to school, but she couldn't concentrate on anything. She kept thinking about the red button and what had happened in the woods. She decided to ask her grandfather about it again, hoping he could shed some light on the situation. Her grandfather was hesitant to talk about it. He had always been superstitious, but he finally relented and told her the truth. He said that pressing the red button was said to summon a vengeful spirit, but no one knew what that spirit would do. The spirit would follow the person who had summoned it, tormenting them until it was satisfied. Marie was horrified. She didn't know what to do. She couldn't just ignore what had happened. She went back to the woods, hoping to find a way to reverse what she had done. She found the button again, and this time she tried to unpress it. She pressed the button again, and as she did, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. The whispers stopped, and the woods became silent. Marie went home feeling hopeful. She thought she had solved the problem. But that night, she woke up to the sound of whispers. She tried to ignore them, but they grew louder and more persistent. She got out of bed and looked around, but there was no one there. As she turned to go back to bed, she saw a figure in the shadows. It was the woman from the woods. Marie tried to scream, but no sound came out.